Hey, what's going on, guys? Stunscape here. So I'm here to actually do a video on calls for Soul Wars. I really want to hopefully get people back into like the minigame aspect, Castle Wars, Soul Wars. Um, I guess, well, I don't know, Dual Arena, I guess. I don't know. I was never a big Dual Arena person, but that'd still be cool to see more people do that. But a lot of talking to people who didn't play Soul Wars often, they said one of the things that confused them, or that they didn't understand, or that they got yelled at by some a-hole, was that they didn't understand calls. So basically, you're sitting in the game lobby and you'll see that game timer at the top if you're at Soul Wars, and all calls, most calls, in almost every FC are made at something called 3 plus 2. So for normal people, that's at 5 minutes. Um, so what that means is that there's 2 minutes left in game, 3 minutes in the lobby. That's why it said like that. So 3 plus 2 comes, you'll see something, they'll use lines, they'll say something like that. Hopefully. If not, you'll just see a color. And that means which team to go on. Sometimes you'll see DD green south. That means to stand at the south square right under the south or green portal. So that's what that means. You also see DD northwest corner after blue is called, and that means stand in that one spot in that corner. DD stands for Death Dot. It's a old Soul Wars thing. It's not. It used to just people used to stand there and click on it for endless reasons. I don't know. I never understood it, but it just stands for. It just means stand there basically. Another thing you'll see switch blue. Say switch blue if you were in red. Switching is actually not. There's no point in switching anymore for newer Soul Wars ranks and the newer FCs. They used to see people switch in the old FCs, so they do it now just because they want to, or they think it was cool, or they never got the power to, so they want to do it now. It actually used to be used when I was ranked in Elders, and what we used to use it for was for that the lower level FCs that were mainly filled with bots, people that would turn their bots on during the game and then come back at the end of it just to get zeal. They would send high-level players or their high-level accounts into the FC to get the call, and then they would just leech off of us. And leeching means that they would go into the games and just like bury bones, basically do nothing, while we, the FC with like the level requirement and no bots, would do all the work basically. So that's what switching used to be used for. If they're using it now, like I said, they just want to do it because they never got to when it was useful. It's not useful anymore. There's no point in doing it. There are no more leech FCs, regardless of what some people use it as an insult towards other clans, but there are no leech FCs anymore. So see things like that. In game, you will see something like that. Dump means that they want people who are collecting soul fragments, what you kill from prey fiends, or what you get from prey fiends and jellies. They want you to go to the center area and click on that center thing and dump them. Use it. You just use it on it, and that will lower the Ava's Slayer level, so that Slayers can go kill it. So you'll see something like Slayers to Ava, 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 however you want to say it. That basically means that there are certain people in the anti-crash teams. So anti-crash is basically like the FC's like main players. The FC's ranks, things like that. There are certain people who are set slayers. They have a really high slayer level. So that's what they'll do. You also see something mages to Obi, or Abi, whatever you want to say. That just means that the set mages go to the center to take the Obi. You'll see something like E Grave. That does not stand for East Grave. It stands for Enemy Grave. That means that they want everyone to rush the enemy grave. This can be a huge move, something that can win a game, and this can also be something that loses a game. So if you're ever a caller, which I'll explain the types of callers here in a second. I suggest not using this until you actually know when to. Because regardless of what you think, most people will follow IGC, which stands for in-game calling, which I'll get into now. So you'll see something, need IGC, or someone who gets mad, I am IGC. IGC stands for in-game caller. That's the person who's going to be saying dump slash egrave slash slayers to Ava slash ob, all that stuff. That's the person who's calling these things out. You also see something called a color caller. That's the person who tells you what team to go on. Technically, well, actually, I guess I shouldn't say technically, but in Elders, this line was for color calling, and this line was for IGC. It's not really like that anymore, and some people forget. So it can be either line for color calling or IGC. Basically, what they use these lines for is just to separate it from normal text. So you have a bunch of people talking all over the place, and then all of a sudden you see a straight line. You understand that something important is about to be said, hopefully. So that's going to go over that. You're going to have the 3 areas. You have well, I guess I should say 4 areas that are important. You're gonna have your grave, so you're gonna have O grave, O grave. Oh, what the fuck? O grave, or some people call it home grave, or some people just flat out say our grave. That is your grave, which is being taken, which is a bad thing. You want to go get that. You'll see OB, which means that the center is being taken. You want to go help with that. And you'll see E grave, which is the enemy's grave. You want to go help with that if that's called. And then Slayers to Ava. I wouldn't recommend going and wasting your time running up there and dying if you don't have the armor or the ability to tank the defense and then tank getting piled while killing the Ava. I think the safest thing to do for new Soul Wars players that want to get involved is to collect. There's things called collectors. They will be the ones that kill the prey fiends. Kill the prey fiends, kill the jellies, or kill players killing those to get soul fragments. For dumping, you'll have people that are called anti-sabo. They will be on your team blowing up cades that the enemy has put up. You'll have people called sabo. This I don't agree with. I would never do it, and I'd never send someone to do it. So I highly suggest never like volunteering to do this. But what you do is you go on the opposite team and you plant barricades just to basically annoy them or deter them, because they can't blow them up. Well, they can blow them up, but it's just annoying because you can get to their grave or their aid area and pick up barricades right there and block the aids like 2 seconds into the game. So I highly suggest not doing Sabo. I look down on it, but a lot of people use it because it's used against them. You'll have Rangers, obviously. You'll have Mages, and you will have Slayers. There's no such thing as Meleeers. Melee is not, unless you have Drygors, it's not really used that often, especially in melee armor like Bandos or Torva or even Tetsu. You will get torn at OB or Abi, anywhere, actually really anywhere, by someone in hybrid minigames armor, whatever you want to call it, maging. Most elite, quotation marks, elite Soul Wars players have hybrid armor, and they all carry all 3 switches, so you want to not really do that. Just walk around in bandos. You will get torn, I promise you. What else is there to do that I should probably tell you guys about so that you know? I mean, that's the general Soul Wars calls that you'll see. You might see some weird things. I don't know, if you see something weird like run E grave, then just leave it and go to Abi. That's some pretty advanced calling, which really shouldn't be done unless you're in an entire FC full of anti-crashers or actual Soul Wars players that can accomplish that, because some people will just, like, their brain will shut down basically and they won't know what to do. So if you see something like that, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't really bother with that. Oh, you'll see some. I'm not sure about the modern FCs, but if you see something like your name, World 44, or leave, basically what that means is that there's most likely a war going on. I don't think any of them are as strict as Elders was, but there's basically a war going on, and they want everyone on World 44. So you'll probably get. I'm not sure exactly how they do it. They could give you 1, 2, 3 warnings, whatever they want to do, or they'll just kick you if you don't respond in like 10 seconds. I used to do 30 seconds or kick. Basically, you have 30 seconds to respond. If you don't respond, you get kicked. There's really no reason to be in the FC unless you're playing Soul Wars or on World 44 or a rank. So, I mean, you can't really get mad about being kicked. There's no reason for you to be in there. So don't. If your friend's in an FC playing and you want to just go be in there, but you don't want to be on the world, or you don't want to go play Soul Wars, at least get on the world, because you most likely will be kicked. So that's basically all of the calls that you'll need to know. I'll just have a video sped up after this. It's kind of late at night, so there's actually like no good Soul Wars players playing. But you'll see the Obi, the E-Grave, the Ava. And you'll just see me maging and playing Soul Wars. So hopefully you guys liked. Hopefully this helped some newer players. I don't know if I should, like, I feel newbie, I hate that word, but I feel kind of newbie saying this. But if you're a really new player, you do not lose your stuff at Soul Wars. I don't know, I still will go to Soul Wars today and see people who are like, do you lose your stuff if you die? Like, no, that's why that guy's wearing 450 mil worth of armor. Like, he wants to lose it. No, you do not lose your stuff if you die. So hopefully I helped some of you guys out. Hopefully it cleared up some confusion. Like I said, if you want to just go back and scroll through, like mute me if I'm annoying and just look at everything, you can kind of get it. Actually, you know what I will do is I will go in and I will show you what I mean by DD South and the corners, so that you guys know what I'm talking about real quick before I end the video. Holy crap. Alright. So, you'll hear something, DD South green portal, and that's going to mean they just want you to come down and stand right here. And everybody's going to stand there, and everybody's going to, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everyone's just going to stand there. Another thing that you'll see is northwest corner, northeast corner. What that means is right up here in this corner here, or this corner, or any of the 4 corners. That's what those areas mean. Sometimes you'll see DD bank. That means stand at the bank. And that is the gist of calling. Sometimes you'll hear something creative that I actually saw today, is blue around grave. So if all the other teams stand over here, somehow they think they thought it would be sneaky to go around the grave. So DD bank around grave in here. So don't get confused. Just do exactly what it says. That's really all. That's really all there is to it, guys. It's not that confusing. Hopefully I helped you guys. Hopefully you guys liked it. If you have any more questions, or if you're still confused on something, leave a comment, or if you don't want to send it in public, just send me a message. Thanks, guys.
Timeflies.
Say
said so I had to open wide. He grabbed the knife and the doc, he had to go inside and fucking cutthroat, split the dude in half. And now it's funny how I even gotta laugh. I hated everything that happened, and when I get the moving on the beat, I get to clapping. And now I'm fucking with you again, and I know I gotta say this motherfucker I'm back. And it feels like I'm the greatest, cause I'm going in hard, yeah. Saying that I should like every fucking freestyle. No, I hold a Bud Light, fucking sip through it like you never get it lost, yeah. But I've been drinking it like it's just my scotch all night, yeah. Say it when you can see me freeze. Where do we be going? Getting McDoubles from Mickey D's. And you've been all on the ride, and you know when I can fly, rapping from the fucking death. But you know that I'm alive, yeah.
Buy no drinks at the bar. Pop champagne, cause we got champagne. And we don't buy no drinks at the bar. Pop champagne, cause we got champagne. And we don't buy no drinks at the bar. Pop champagne, cause we got